Leeds Rhinos team, 5 of the Rhinos team were over in Sydney early this morning playing against Australia. But the Rhinos team that shapes up to face Castleford will have to be up for the task. A massive game in any season, but even more important after defeat last week against Warrington. The Leeds team lines up. 1, captain Francis Cummings. 14, Mark Calderwood. 3, returning to the centres, Tony Carroll. 5, Chev Walker. 22, making his first appearance of the season, Andy Kirk. Now, back at half-backs, number 6, Ben Walker, and Rob Burrow, number 19, starts at scrum half. The pack for Leeds: 12, Matt Adamson. 9, Matt Diskin. 18, Danny Ward. 11, Andy Hay. 16, Willie Poaching. And what a big game for this man, number 15, Adrian Vowles, playing against the team he captained so successfully for many years. The bench for Leeds: 17, Wayne McDonald returns from injury. It's a home debut for 29, Ryan Bailey. 23, Danny Maguire. And 21, Jamie Jones Buchanan. The visitors, they line up: number 5, Darren Rogers. 2, John Wells. 4, Barry John Mather. 14, Andy Johnson. 20, Wayne Price. Number 6 is Danny Orr. 7, Mitch Healy. The forwards for Cass: 8, Nathan Sykes. 9, Wayne Bartram. 17, Andy Leach. 23, Michael Smith. 12, Dale Fritz. 11, Lee Harland. And the bench for the Tigers: 15, Carl Warren. 26, Adrian Rainey. 25, Tom Saxton. And 13, Ryan Sheridan. And the Rhinos make first blood straight off. The kick-off bouncing into touch. The Tigers could do nothing about it. And so Leeds will have head and feed on the Tigers' 30-metre line. Tonight's referee is Steve Ganson. His first job is to sort this scrum out. Rob Burrow will feed said scrum. Adrian Vowles picks up, finds Ben Walker, onto Carroll. Carroll steps through the first tackle. Leeds start like a house on fire, tearing upfield. Cummins to Hay, another former Tiger, breaks through the first tackle. This is a good start from Leeds. Fritz missing the tackle on Hay. Danny Ward now, he tries it up to within 5 metres of the Tigers' line. A minute not gone. Leeds really flying now. Leeds get a penalty. Diskin finds Burrow. On to Vowles. Vowles tackled by Danny Orr. Big cheer from the Tigers fan for the first tackle on Adrian Vowles, the former man of steel. Of course, collected that accolade in '99 with the Tigers, their best season in many years. This is Matt Anderson, brushes out of the first tackle. Leeds will want to get a score here, even early on. Took the tap penalty inside the Tigers 10. This is Ben Walker onto Andy Hay. Hay gets out of the first tackle, still going Hay. Has Hay scored? Penalised for a second effort. Well, it looked as if the Cass defender had actually let go of Hay there. But referee says it was a second effort. Sykes, tackled by Diskin. This is 17, Andy Lynch. Leeds penalised for interference by Rob Burrow. Michael Smith looking to take the quick tap, and Graham Stedman will be glad his team have weathered that early storm. Leeds really came at Cass. Mitch Healy kicks a touch. Francis Cummins tries in vain to keep it in on the 20. And so now it's Cass's turn to attack. This is Bartram. Gets the ball to Sykes. Interesting tonight that the stalwart of the Castleford team, Dean Sampson, was relegated to the under-19 academy team. This is Michael Smith. And so he is not inside. Smith gets the offload away to Rogers. Rogers caught inches short of the line. This is Healy, ducking and weaving, gets the ball away there to Lee Harland. Harland's well tackled. Good defence so far by Leeds, and, well, quick tap taken by Cass. Unfortunately for Lee Harland, it wasn't his ball to take a quick tap whip. And so he's suffering and only making a fool of himself. Makes things even worse by having a little chat to Steve Ganson. And now Steve Ganson is going to have a chat with him. Danny Orr's called in, the Cass captain. And so, great defence there by Leeds. Harlan came very close to scoring. Gary Mercer, Mick Cook. Well, Steve Ganson has shown the yellow and the red cards. And it's the yellow one that counts. So 10 minutes in the sin bin for Haaland. And what can Leeds make of this? Well, it reminds me of the situation earlier in the season when Leeds played Wigan at JJB, when Tony Carroll was sin bin for constant back chat rather. High shot there from Michael Smith. Penalty given. The Tigers losing their temperament at the moment. One in the bench, one in the bin already. And a high shot there from Smith on Adamson. Ben Walker finds Willie Poaching. Poaching has Carroll outside him. Still going Willie Poaching. Goes under the tackle of Smith. Smith grabs hold of the shirt collars. Ben Walker finds Danny Ward. He spins in the tackles, eventually brought down by Sykes. Burrow, inside ball to Adamson. He's brought down, 25 out from the Tigers line. A great pace the game being played at so far. Ben Walker finds Willie Poaching. Poaching tries to get out of the tackle of all. It's another set of 6. This is Tony Carroll. Leeds have that tackle spare. And they're inside, nearly up to the 10-metre line. Mark Calder finds Danny Ward. Had to stop to take the ball. Drives over the top. Leeds have the numbers out to the south stand side if they can use it. Casa stretched. Rob Burrow ducks under the first tackle. Franny Cummins at dummy half. Finds Ben Walker. Walker onto Poaching. Poaching. There seems to be acres of space outside Poaching every time he gets the ball. My money will be on Tony Carroll for first try here if he can come up to Adamson. Adamson looking for the offload out to Mark Calder. It's the last tackle now for Leeds. Ben Walker kicks to the corner. The chase is on from Chev Walker and Adrian Vowles. Barry John Maller's there, but he defuses the bomb. It'll be a 20-metre restart for Castleford. 6 minutes gone and barely chance to draw breath. And so Mitch Healy takes the opportunity to give everyone a breather. This is Nathan Sykes, tackled by Tony Carroll. Leeds penalised for offside. Michael Smith breaks through. Mark Calderwood does well to track back. This is Wayne Price. He's eventually brought down there by Matt Adamson. Well, this game shows no. This is Lynch, spins out of the first tackle from Hay. Matt Diskin gets hold of the ankles. Andy Hay picks up. Andy Hay's away. Rogers is chasing. He's suckled by the shirt collars. This is Ben Walker. Has Chev Walker outside him. Chev lets it bounce and then picks up one-handed. Gets away from the tackle of Healy. Still going Chev Walker. Looks so strong in the second half down at Wakefield and in the first half against Warrington last week. This is Vowles. Crossing there. Referee says play on. The tackle was already committed on Vowles. Diskin to Ward. Ward steps in through the gap, looking to get the offload away. Can't. Diskin now. To Burrow. Has Adamson outside him, on the runaround. Then on to Willie Poaching. Poaching out to Carroll. Carroll pushing away from the first tackle. Still going Tony Carroll. Announced at the start of this week he was returning to Australia, but his sights are firmly set on a grand final day. This is Danny Ward. Mitch Healy did just enough to kick it dead. Drop out by the Tigers. 8 minutes gone, 0-0 the score. So far it's been one of the games of the season. The pace it's been played at, really both teams giving their all out there. Ben Walker picks off after the bounce, then throws it over the head of Willie Poaching. Poaching is wise enough to just let it bounce and then take it on the bounce. No need to panic. This is Vowles, on to Hay. Hay's seen plenty of the ball so far. Hay's broken through, still going Andy Hay, on to Adrian Vowles. Vowles will score underneath the post, and he will get one hell of a reception from the Castleford fans. Well, he's not scored many in the blue and amber, but that one will be ever so sweet for Adrian Vowles. Goes down the field, scores underneath the post in front of the Cas fans, and that gives the Rhinos the lead. Ben Walker adds the extras, 6-0 to the Rhinos, 9 minutes gone. Well, credit Andy Hay there, the bursting run. He's had a couple so far in this game, not least when he intercepted and ran 30 metres down the middle of the field. But the break there, skipped out of the first tackle, and he has such pace over that first 10 metres, the big ranging run. Broke downfield, Vowles was on his shoulder, and the try was scored. Well, no doubt there was an early start for all these players this morning as they watched their countrymen take on Australia. A desperately disappointing game and result for British Rugby League, but great fare on offer tonight here at Headingley. Diskin at dummy half finds Danny Ward. He's had a big opening 10 minutes, Ward, in the absence of Barry McDermott, giving Leeds a tremendous amount of go forward. And you can't underestimate how much these players grow in confidence as they play in the first team and are given that vote of confidence from the coaching staff. Danny Ward is the recognised prop out there, having a big 10 minutes. This is Tony Carroll. He's through the first tackle, brought down, 38 out from the Tigers line. Ben Walker finds Rob Burrow. Rob Burrow looking to get the ball away to Francis Cummins. He does that. Last tackle now for Leeds. Great field position. This is Ben Walker. Ben Walker stabs a little kick through, then picks up himself. Steve Ganson hasn't made a decision. It's back to zero. Back to zero for Leeds. Willie Poaching still going, gets the ball back. Matt Adamson drives it up. Still going Adamson. Brought down, 10 out. Diskin to Ben Walker. Dummies twice, then finds Chev Walker. He brushes off the initial tackle of Barry John Mather. Still going. Look for two offloads. They weren't on, so he kept hold of the ball. Andy Kirk now finds Ben Walker to Rob Burrow. Leeds patient in their build-up. Burrow going across the face of the attack. Finds Tony Carroll. Tony Carroll going for the line. He's caught a metre short. Great tackle there from Andy Johnson. Ball goes to ground. This is Francis Cummins. He comes into centre field. Still going the Leeds fullback. Still going. Gets the ball away to Vowles. Vowles can't hold on to it. Close into the line. And so Castleford live to see another day. Great attack by Leeds. Tremendous attack by Leeds. Moving from left to right and back to centre field. The ball just couldn't stick for Vowles. He saw the line, stretched out for it, lost control of the ball, and so Castleford will get head and feed. Rogers, the England international, brought down, 12 out from his own line. This is Orr. Had such a big game in the second Origin match here, coming on at half-time. Was influential in Yorkshire's comeback that evening. And now he has the ball in hand as Steve Ganson awards a penalty. High penalty count so far, 13 minutes gone. I'd hazard to guess that we're nearly up to 10 penalties in the opening 13 minutes. Certainly in that region. Healy goes short to make sure. This is Lynch. Joggled it first of all. Second ball's on the field. That'll need to be removed by the touch judge, by all people. Good run here from Dale Fritz. One of the hardest tacklers in Super League. Looked like he knocked on there. This is Wayne Price. He's up over the 10-metre line. Bartram finds Michael Smith in his second spell at Castleford. This is Healy. Healy has numbers outside. Finds Harlan. Then on to Barry John Mather. Chev Walker, Andy Kirker there. Can they hold him up? They can indeed. Great work from the two young men out wide. Tremendous work there. That's how a wing and centre should work. Tied the ball up. Mather going for the line. It wasn't the last tackle though, so Cass will have head and feed, but tremendous defence. Real committed stuff. Oh, comes off the boot of Harland. Wasn't a knock on. Just slowed things down and allows Willie Poaching to get the tackle in. 8 out from the Leeds line. Harland now picks up, driving upfield. Tackled by Danny Ward. Spins in the tackle. Gets himself to within a metre of the Leeds line. This is Michael Smith, a big man. Close to the line, hard to stop. Gets the ball back to Lynch. Lynch, he tries the offload, but well tied up there by Francis Cummins. The initial tackle by Walker. Cummins did well to see the loose arm and pull it back in. This is Orr. Out to Healy. Healy goes around the back of Mather. Good tackle here by Chev Walker. Has he held him up? The run's there from number 12, Dale Fritz. Has he scored? Held up. Fantastic stuff by Chev Walker. Absolutely looked all on for a try there. And Walker is using his superior upper body strength and held Fritz off. A big man close to the line. Good stuff from Leeds. Doing a lot of tackling though in this spell, but holding firm. So we start again, almost a carbon copy of the last drive. Got an 8 tackle there. Willie Poaching coming in out of the line, put the tackle in there on Andy Johnson. This is Sykes. Looked like he got away there, just slipped as he went to pull away again. Ball gets away. Cass playing very close to the line. Tackle goes in from Adamson. Like a pack of wolves, they see straight on the wounded tiger. This is Healy. Has runners inside, finds Mather. Chev Walker, another tremendous tackle on Barry John Mather. Well, Chev Walker is growing in confidence with every game he plays recently. This is Danny Orr. Tackle by Danny Ward. Gets the ball back to Healy though. They have numbers out wide, they can use it. Rogers goes to Price. Looked like a forward pass. Ball's gone to deck. Price can't claim on it. It's gone dead anyway. And it's all for out because it was a forward pass to Price. Well, that's a great 3 sets of 6 from Leeds. Fantastic stuff. Real passion and commitment. And that's why the South Stand respond. They see that from their team. 17 minutes gone, 6-0 to Leeds. The try from Adrian Vales, converted by Ben Walker, separating the teams. This is Tony Carroll. Runs from first receiver from the scrum. Rob Burrow, dummy half. Castleford dangerously at the offside limit. Okay, that time. This is Danny Ward. Skips out of the first tackle, but Harlan's there to finish him off. Diskin to to Walker. He goes for a 40-20. He was certainly inside his 40. It's whether he can get to the touchline. He can't indeed. Price makes a meal of it. Did he knock on? No, didn't make contact with the ball. Great chase from Mark Cordwood. But you expect nothing less from Mark Cordwood. He's having an outstanding season for the Rhinos. Diskin in with a tackle. 25 out from the Castleford line. Michael Smith. Tackled by Poaching. Tony Carroll and Matt Adamson joined in. Sykes runs through the tackle of Ward, but Diskin's there to help his teammate out. Bartram finds Orr. Orr kicks through. Kirk turns. Kirk can let it run. It was outside the 40. Picks it up anyway. Then comes back across field. Finds Francis Cummins. Cummins has Orr chasing him. Still going Francis Cummins. Breaks through, spins in the tackle. Great running from Francis Cummins. And a warm round of applause from the South Stand. Been amongst his sternest critics this year, some of the Leeds fans. Danny Ward now, drive it up. Fritz went for the big hit, Ward just span out of it, using Fritz's own strength to propel him forward. Diskin goes to centre field, finds Matt Adamson. Adamson pushing through the first tackle. Ben Walker to Willie Poaching. Brought down, 43 out, it's the last tackle. Rob Burrow looking for the ball, goes the other way to Ben Walker. It's come off the calf of a Castleford player. Matt Diskin's football skills let him down, and real bravery there from Darren Rogers, diving at the feet of Ben Walker to save his team and to give Castleford a chance to come out from their own line. Good quick play of the balls. This is Lynch, brought down, 42 out from his own line. Wells. Danny Ward will be lucky if he doesn't get penalised here. Referee says play on. This is Harland. Gets the ball back, great offload by Harland. Rogers gets it back to Bartram. Bartram goes through the tackle of Hay. Still going, great tackle by Francis Cummins. Stopped him dead and stopped the momentum. Or back to Rogers. Rogers, little chip through. Chases on, Rogers has picked it up and scored. Well, Francis Cummins had come out of the line to make the initial saving tackle. It left a big hole in front. Rogers chipped through, collected, and Castleford get their first try of the game. Ben Walker shaping up for something here, coming round the corner for the kick. Tries a short one again, but this time it falls straight into the arms of Michael Smith. Don't get the chance to get the ball this time. Johnson, tackled by Ward. Bartram finds Lynch, he's tackled by Hay and McDonald. Gets the ball away though to Harland. Diskin gets the tackle in. Orr dummies to Smith, then tackled by Poach. He's still going though. Orr gets the ball back. This is Lynch driving downfield. Hay and Ward in with the tackle. Bartram at dummy half. Finds Sykes. Sykes running at Diskin. Diskin and Hay completes the tackle. Last tackle now. Bartram runs to the line, then kicks. It's picked up by Kirk. Kirk does well to get away from his line. Good stuff from the young man. This is Chev Walker. He runs straight past Sykes into centre field. He's picked up. Does well to anchor himself down quickly. Leeds under the shadow of their own post. This is Kirk again, coming into centre field looking for work. Diskin finds Wayne McDonald. He runs straight through Danny Orr, still going, McDonald. Poaching now. Last tackle for Leeds, still inside their own 30. Ben Walker puts it high. Darren Rogers is chasing it, bounces behind them. Wells will collect. Chases there from Vowles and Chev Walker. Castleford start this set of 6 on their own 30. Barry John Mather finds the try scorer Rogers. Tackled by McDonald. Wells. Burrow. Ball's come out, has it? No. Bartram finds Fritz. Fritz comes out of the tackle of Vowles, but Rob Burrow is able to bring the man down. Healy to Orr. Spreading the ball wide at every opportunity, Castleford. Michael Smith brought down by Ben Walker and Mark Calderwood in tandem. Last tackle. Smith very slow to his feet. He's lost the boot in back play. Kick goes to the corner. Kirk chasing. Kirk drops it. Goes into touch. And so Castleford will have head and feed on the Leeds 10. The sun setting behind the scoreboard at Headingley, straight into Andy Kirk's eyes there. if you say one thing, at least he made sure that if he wasn't going to catch it, that there was no chance of it spilling infield to a Castleford player to collect. The better of two evils. Willie Poaching going off for Leeds. Michael Smith just tying up a stray boot. Back inside to Harland. Good tackle there by Chev Walker, who'd come round the base of the scrum. Bartram now finds Healy, on to Orr. Orr fires the ball out wide to Price. Price looking to go in at the corner. Well tackled there by Tony Carroll. Orr. It's the ball away to Carl Warren, former North Queensland Cowboy. Bartram. It's the ball to Smith. Smith coming across centre field. Bowles misses the tackle. Rob Burrow has to make it. There's a complete mismatch there. And Michael Smith scores. About three players, Leeds players, missed the tackle on Smith there. He just kept growing across the pitch, crabbing his way across, and eventually made his way over the try line. And Castleford take the lead. Jamie Jones Buchanan it was that came on for Willie Poaching. He gets it this time to extend the Tigers' lead to 4 points, 10 points to 6. Ben Walker. Kick's dead. Not for the first time this season. Gary Mercer, water carrying for the Tigers, making the decision whether to kick for goal or to touch. The assistant coach is Nathan Sykes, tackled by Ward and McDonald. This is Kyle Warren, he's brought down the 10-metre line. Or on the run around, finds Healy. Healy drops off to Barry John Mather. Tackled by Adrian Bowles. Or inside ball to Michael Smith. Gets the ball out wide there to Carl Warren. Carl Warren has scored. A well-worked move from the Tigers, and they've scored straight away. The kick-off from Walker going a touch. The Tigers get a penalty and halfway, kick downfield, and within 4 tackles have scored. Bartram. Conversion from in front of the sticks, giving the Tigers a 10-point lead. Now Ben Walker. Kick fielded by the try scorer Carl Warren. Tackled by Diskin and McDonald. This is Wayne Price coming in off his wing. Tackled by Jamie Jones Buchanan. Warren finds Sykes. Buchanan in with the tackle again, driving him back like a rugby union maul as he's driven back 8 metres. Ryan Hudson on for the Tigers, getting the ball back there. This is Andy Kirk running into centre field. Tackled by Fritz. Rob Burrows at dummy half. He finds Chev Walker. Chev Walker tackled by Hudson. Ben Walker kicks downfield. This is Rob Burrow. Finds Francis Cummins. Cummins stepping back inside, tackled by Michael Smith. Diskin finds Ben Walker. He fires it out wide. Misses Carroll, and Calderwood can't take it. Goes straight into touch, and Castleford will get the ball back on their own 30-metre line. Hudson gets the ball back. This is Fritz. He's eventually tackled by Chev Walker. Hudson down the short side, finds Carl Warren. He's tackled again by Chev Walker, and Danny Ward as well. Going down the short side, Hudson gets the ball out wide of Barry John Mather. John Wells tries to go around Francis Cummins and does to score, and he'll go around to the post to make the conversion. An easier effort. The quick play of the ball there from Hudson, getting the ball out wide. Mather gets the ball out wide to Wells, and the try is scored. Well, Hudson's made a big difference since coming on. Former Wakefield Trinity player. Really has upped the tempo. He's on hand there on every tackle at dummy half, getting the ball out wide. The quick hands from Mather out to Wells, and Wells backed his own pace to score. Slots it right between the uprights, and the Tigers have a commanding lead. Danny Maguire coming on for Ben Walker. Rob Burrow kicks downfield. Carl Warren tackled by Matt Diskin. Wayne McDonald powers back in the tackle. Hudson finds Sykes. Ward and Vowes make the tackle. Harland gets the ball away, kick goes through. Cordon and Cummins are chasing. Cummins picks up. A sea of white in front of him. This is Mark Calderwood. Tackled by Dale Fritz on the Leeds 10-metre line. Castleford have their tails up. Leeds make no yardage forward. Chev Walker now. Diskin to Wayne McDonald. Drives it up through Smith. It's picked up, looking to get the offload away. Decides against it. Diskin goes himself. Balls come out. Castleford pick up. 35 out from their own line. Harlan goes through. Danny Maguire does well to get the tackle in. Hudson now finds Orr steps, tackled by Diskin. 10 metres out. Carl Warren stepping, trying to go through, but McDonald and Vowles in with a tackle. Hudson goes from dummy half. We're going to score himself. He'll stretch for the line, will he? No, great tackle there. Jamie Jones it was who stretched an arm round to pull the ball carrying arm back. This is Mitch Healy. Manages to hit Barry John Mather in the face with the pass. Jamie Jones picks it up calmly. Rob Burrow onto Francis Cummins. He's coming into centre field. Gets tackled by Hudson. Danny Ward spinning in the tackle. Still going Ward. Gets the ball back to Francis Cummins. Cummins tackled 25 out from his own line. Diskin to Wayne McDonald. Wayne McDonald driving it up. Diskin to Maguire. Comes off the head of Michael Smith. He didn't play at it, so it'll be Castleford head and feed. Well, the disappointment of this morning for Leeds fans watching the Great Britain game has continued in the first half of this evening's game. 22 points to 6, but for Castleford fans, all them doom and gloom are well out of the way. Tremendous first half from the Tigers, especially as they absorbed a hell of a lot of pressure from Leeds in the opening 8 minutes or so. Found themselves 6-0 down, Leeds with all the possession, and Castleford absorbed it all and came downfield and have scored a couple of beautiful tries. Michael Smith tackled by Wayne McDonald. Ryan Hudson finds Healy. Healy kicks through. Francis Cummins picks up. Stepping away. Tackled by Barry John Mather. 11 out from his own line. Chev Walker finds Andy Kirk. Kirk into centre field. Diskin at dummy half. Finds Tony Carroll. Tony Carroll up over the 20-metre line. Danny Ward now running through Ryan Hudson. So half time, 22 points to 6, and the Leeds players go into their dressing room with the sound of the South Stand booing in their ears, and it's going to need a much more improved performance in the second half if they're to come up against this tough tackling, fierce fighting Castleford side. Castleford back on the field. Leeds already anxious and out there. No doubt the words of Darryl Powell ringing in their ears. A major disappointment in that first half. They find themselves 22 points to 6 down at home against the Castleford Tigers. A score that simply isn't good enough for Leeds Rhinos. Without their 5 Great Britain internationals, but the starting lineup had 7 internationals plus Ben Walker. The fragile confidence of the Rhinos shattered by Castleford in that first half. And now can they make amends as Chev Walker picks up the kickoff, spins out of the first tackle. Diskin to Wayne McDonald. Drives into Ryan Hudson and eventually pulled down. 28 out from his own line. Danny Ward now spins in the tackle, brought down by Carl Warren. Diskin to Hay. South Stand appeals for offside by the Castleford players. Rob Burrow now going for a 40-20. Kicks downfield, it won't reach it though. Wayne Price first with his left, then with his right, collects the ball. Out to Rogers. Rogers tackled by Hay and Jamie Jones. Lynch. Jones in again. Well, what an impact young Danny Maguire could have on this game. To replace Ben Walker with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Those who have watched the academy have seen the sheer skill level that Danny Maguire possesses. If ever he was going to show it, his team need it now. He doubles up on the tackle on Orr, forcing the possession back. This is Sykes, runs at Rob Burrow. Rob Burrow goes around the legs and Mark Calderwood pulls Sykes down. This is Michael Smith, tackled by Maguire and McDonald. Eventually pulled down just over the halfway line. Last tackle now, Hudson finds Healy. He kicks through along the ground. Cummins fields the kick, 6 out from his own line. Good tackle there by Dale Fritz. Carroll now finds Vowles, has Hay outside him. This is Kirk. Vowles going down the short side, bumps out the first tackle, then gets it back to Chev Walker. Chev Walker's pulled down on his own 20-metre line. Diskin to Ward. Graham Stedman's used his bench well this evening. Carl Warren and Ryan Hudson having big games off the bench. Maguire kicks through. It's in centre field. The chase is on from Carroll and Calderwood. Price picks up inside his own 10. Good tackle there by Jones and Disking. Both teams tentatively feeling each other out in this open exchange of the second half. Castleford know all they need to do is just play their rugby. Leeds have to produce something outstanding to get back into this game. Hudson going down the short side. Tackled by Chev Walker. Sykes. Good driving by Sykes. This is Rogers. Finds Healy. Healy goes to the air. Mark Calderwood's underneath it. Francis Cummins is there too. Francis Cummins feels the kick. Good tackle by Orr. Good passage of play there from both teams. Tremendous kick by Healy. Well fielded by Cummins and good chase by Orr. This is Carroll. 25 out from his own line. Diskin finds McDonald. McDonald driving it up. Still going McDonald. Diskin to Ward. Ward now gets the ball back to Diskin again. Finds Andy Hay. Andy Hay tries to get the quick offload away. As it is, Mathers shot out the line. Vowles was pulled back there as he tried to get the ball. But the referee says no, and Mathers allowed to collect. This is Wells coming into centre field. Castleford looking dangerous. Healy to Orr. Orr finds the run of Johnson out to Price. Price juggles with the ball and eventually brought down by Carroll. Orr again. Inside ball to Harland. He's brought down well by Burrow. Going down the short side. Hudson to Johnson. Finds Michael Smith. Michael Smith coming across centre field. Shifts the ball onto Orr. Then to Healy. Out wide. Castleford will score again here. John Wells it is. Quick hands by Castleford, feeding it right across the field. Smith to Orr to Healy, out wide, Mather to Wells, and Wells scores in the corner. So the Tigers extend their lead to 20 points. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Bailey, 29. For those not familiar with the young second rower. Adamson makes his first impact to the game. Hudson down the short side finds Sykes. Sykes spins in the tackle as well, tackled by Chev Walker. Diskin makes the tackle, 35 out from the Tigers line. Healy. Maguire and Burrow in with the tackles. Rogers now. Good tackle by Bailey. Last tackle now. Hudson to Orr. Orr kicks through into centre field. This should be a fairly straightforward one for Francis Cummins to pick up. Is indeed. Runs back. Tackled by Hudson and Sykes. Tony Carroll. Flipped in the tackle. Every tackle cheered now by the Castleford faithful. Matt Adamson drived up, tackled by Hudson. 32 out from his own line. Andy Hay. Well, if Castleford can hold on for this, it will be a day long remembered down at the Jungle. Yet to win here in the Super League era. In the regular season, had two famous victories over the Graham Murray Leeds Rhinos side in the Challenge Cup in 1998, the first game under Graham Murray, and of course Graham Murray's last game in charge of the Rhinos in the playoff in 99, the outstanding season for Castleford Tigers when they were a Super League Club of the Year, beat Leeds and Wigan in the playoffs that year. Rob Burrow looks badly injured in back play. He's holding his ankle. Let out a scream when the injury happened, and he hasn't moved since then. Andy Kirk picks up now, driving across fields. Brought down, 15 out from his own line. The Rhinos physiotherapist Paddy Moran is tending to Burrow, so Leeds down to 12 men as this attack starts through Ryan Bailey. Rob Burrow is out of this game. Patrick Moran signalling to the bench he's going to have to come off. He's in a very bad way, is Rob Burrow. He's in absolute agony down there. Still play goes on. This is Matt Adamson driving upfield. And eventually Steve Ganson stops play. 4 tackles into this set of 6. And so Ben Walker will come back on. Calls for the stretcher. Well, Rob Burrow let out an almighty shout as that ankle turned. It looked like he got it trapped in the tackle and it turned. Can only hope that it's not as serious as it first looks. He looks in an awful amount of pain there. Paddy Moran was on the scene very quickly. Unfortunately, Steve Ganson took his time to react, so the stretcher could not get out there as quickly as some would have liked. Well, there's no excuse that the referee couldn't have seen that Rob Burrow was down in back play. The referee in the stand is constantly talking to the referee in his earpiece. He's exactly in line with where Burrow is, the referee in the stand, and obviously said nothing to the official. The South Stand send a song of best wishes to Rob Burrow, who's still on the field receiving treatment. Gets a pat from Danny Orr, his Yorkshire origin teammate. So the game slows once again. Just under 50 minutes play before this stoppage. And the Leeds players and the Castleford players just stretching off, don't want to seize up. So Rob Burrow leaves the field. Dreadfully sad sight. We can only hope that it's not as serious as we may first think. Steve Ganson waits for the stretcher to be off the field. Ball goes back to Danny Maguire, who hits to the air, hasn't found any real distance. Ball bounces, Tony Carroll picks up, fires it back to Adamson. Adamson, he puts a high up and under. It'll drop on Rogers just in front of his own post. He's well collected by Mark Calderwood. Matt Adamson and Haaland are involved in a battle of fisticuffs in back play. Barry John Mather moves upfield, it's still going on. Ryan Bailey's got involved now, and eventually Steve Ganson decides he's seen enough. Steve Ganson looked straight at that fight earlier on in the play and decided to let it run its natural course and give Castleford the advantage of running downfield. Probably thought no one had got a good shot away, so leave him to it for another couple of minutes. To see what the touch judges see here. Unusually this season, neither of them seemed too keen to come on. We've seen it so often this year. Touch judges running in from all over the place. Matt Aronson and Francis Cummins called in. It's a Stern telling off. And now it's the turn of Haaland and Orr. Have a quick chat. Perhaps Steve Ganson passing on some tips for real big punches. He had a good look at the previous fight and decided it wasn't of a sufficient calibre of his liking. And eventually gives a penalty with a push by Adamson by the looks of things, to which surely Haaland retaliated, if that was the first offence. That seems to be what Steve Ganson's signalling for. Either way, it's irrelevant as play gets back underway thanks to the boot of Mitch Healy, and what has been seems like an eternity, we can eventually get the game back into some sort of action following the injury to Rob Burrow and that bout of fisticuffs. Hudson at dummy half. Finds Lynch. He's over the halfway line. Brought down, 45 out from the Leeds line. Or inside ball to Smith. Smith lost his footing as he came into the tackle. Hudson goes from dummy half himself, then gets the ball away to Orr. Orr tackled by Bailey. Andy Hay in with the tackle. Ryan Bailey taking no prisoners. May only be 18, but he demands respect from whoever he plays against. Andy Hay in with a tackle. Castleford get the ball out through Smith onto Healy. Hudson puts the kick through. Andy Kirk is chasing and pushes it dead for a dropout. 20 points behind. Castleford will be absolutely loving this. Had the lion's share of possession in this second half, including a try through John Wells. And this is all they need to do to claim the 2 points and a memorable night at Headingley. Hudson gets the ball back to Mather. Mather tackled by Chev Walker. This is Smith. Smith running. Initial tackle is by Maguire. Jones then makes him, but he can't tie the ball up. Lynch goes downfield. Bailey gets the tackle in there. Orr Fires the ball out wide. It's gone behind them, but did well there. Andy Johnson knew he couldn't collect to his hand, used his shins and pushed it backwards for a teammate, and now he's got the ball again. Johnson gets the ball away to Price. Mark Calderwood couldn't make the tackle, and Price scores in the corner, and Castleford were patient, kept hold of the ball, used their brains to do the football, got the ball out wide, and Price scored in the corner. Well, what a fantastic night this is turning into for Castleford Tigers. Everything working out for them. Always seems to have a slight limp in his stride, and then all of a sudden there's a burst of pace that can cut you open like a razor. Diskin in on the tackle. Just over 20 minutes to go in the game. Adamson and Diskin in on the tackle. This is Price, scorer of the last Castleford try. Jamie Jones appeals for a knock on to the touch judge. Touch judge shakes it off. Powerful running from Adrian Rainey. Kick goes up from Healy. Calderwood's underneath it. Calderwood collects and then runs around the cover. Still going, Mark Calderwood. Brought down, 22 out from his own line. Maguire finds Ben Walker. Ben Walker skips through the first tackle. Diskin finds Adamson. Adamson dummies to Carroll and then takes it up. 45 out from their own line, the Rhinos. Ben Walker. Inside ball to Andy Hay. Hay still going. Gets the ball back to Vowles. To Adamson. Back to Cummins. Leeds standing still. This is Cummins though. Injects the pace. Still going Francis Cummins. Finds Danny Maguire. Danny Maguire racing to the line. And Danny Maguire will score underneath the posts. Well, credit Francis Cummins there. He created that try, no one else. He took the ball standing still on the halfway line. It looked as if Leeds had lost all momentum on that charge. He stepped, weaved and dodged, moved upfield, drew the cover and put Danny Maguire away. And Danny Maguire scores between the uprights. Leeds will need plenty more of that in the remaining 20 minutes of this game if they are to rescue this match. Ben Walker adds the extras, and so it is 12 points to 30. Still plenty of time left on the clock. Castleford's season has been a tale of late defeats. This would cap them all if they were to capitulate from here. They've played some outstanding rugby league tonight, have ran the show for long periods, but must now just steady the ship and not allow Leeds another try to get their tails up. This is Vowles. By his own admission, will have had the poor game so far against his former club. Scored the try early on, but missed a number of tackles in that second half. This is Diskin to Maguire, to Walker, on to Jamie Jones. Jones sees the gap. Well tackled by Andy Johnson. Maguire at dummy half. Dummies, comes back inside. Still going Maguire. Finds Jones. Jones full of running, on to Matt Adamson. Adamson looking to punch a hole past Rainey. Rainey does well, keeps his cool and drives Adamson back. Last tackle now for Leeds. Down the short side with Vowles. Vowles gets the ball out wide. This is Chev Walker. Chev Walker looking for runners, gets it back. It's picked up, still going backwards. Another set of 6 for Leeds. Will Leeds get head and feed here? No advantage. No, it goes to Castleford. There was a Castleford hand in there. Steve Ganson wiped the tackle count clean, but Leeds couldn't keep hold of the ball. And so Castleford showing real steel on defence. Hold out. That's what they need to do. The game is in the bag for them. They just need to keep playing. They can't close up shop. They just need to keep playing. There's probably more scores in it for them if they can. Ryan Hudson takes the tackle off Diskin. Bartram finds Smith. Smith out to Johnson. Johnson going down the south stand side. Caldwood does well to get the tackle in. Tony Carroll completes. Price. This is out Smith to find Bartram. On to Orr. Orr. Castleford had numbers out wide. Barry John Mather moves up, but the pass was forward. Signals the touch judge. This is Carroll. Leeds need 3 converted tries just to draw level. Ben Walker takes the quick tap. Harlan's tackled, knock on by Mark Calderwood. Harland uses his foot to control the ball at the base of the scrum. This is Rainey, drives it up. Tackled by Adamson and Diskin. Still going, great running here by Andy Lynch. Still going. Absolutely colossal drive. Ball's come out though. This is Andy Hay. Gets it away to Andy Kirk. Andy Kirk sprinting downfield. Needs to come in from the touchline side. Does well there, the youngster. Showed real maturity just to tuck himself up away from that touchline. Andy Hay now. Still going Andy Hay. Clever play by Mitch Healy. Real professionalism. Showing all his years of experience in the NRL. Just slowing the Leeds play down, not letting them get a roll on. This is Jamie Jones, plays the ball now for Danny Maguire. Matt Anderson coming across field, finds Jones. Jones puts his foot down, gets the ball back to Danny Maguire. Maguire's away for his second. Great angle of running there from the young man, Danny Maguire. Terrific run. He looked like he'd been tackled by about 2 players, but the arcing run just drew him away. And he gets his second of the game and continues the Leeds fight back. Leeds are not only playing against Castleford, they're playing against the clock now. £30 points to 18, Ben Walker's conversion. About 15 minutes to go. Leeds now 2 converted tries away from levelling the score. Well, there was heartbreak here last week against Warrington as they came back from the dead to snatch it in the last second. Could there be a turnaround of fortunes this week? Still a long, long way to go. forget in the build-up to that try. The tremendous run from Andy Kirk, coming down the touchline side, keeping himself in play. This is Ryan Bailey. He's been pressed since coming on. Didn't really have a chance to have much of an impact on his first appearance of the season down at Wakefield. One big hit. This is Matt Adamson. Disking down the short side with Vowles. Vowles, he's tackled. Ball's come out. Referee says it was a knock-on by Vowles. Well, Adrian Vowles has had a night to forget. He's had the reverse Midas touch ever since scoring the opening try of the game. Chev Walker in with the tackle. Danny Orr finds Harlands. Bartram. It's the tackle in from Diskin. Bartram now goes through the tackle of Ben Walker. Ryan Bailey locks him up. Knock on. Good tackle by Bailey. Leeds head and feed. Well inside their own half. Vowles finds Tony Carroll. The Cass fans scream for a knock on. Carroll dragged back 3 metres. Maguire to Hay. Hay drives it up. Castleford showing real strength. This is much a battle of the mind as of skill. Adamson driving it up. Diskin finds Ben Walker, going for a 40-20. Certainly inside his 40, but Wells does tremendously well to pick that up. Judged it brilliantly on the bounce. Good tackle. 25 out from his own line, Wells, before he was brought down by Vowles. Maguire rolls the man in the tackle. Price comes in off his wing, up to the 40-metre line. Castleford players so hungry for this win. Ryan Bailey and Jamie Jones in with the tackle. Castleford over the halfway line, tackles to spare. Hudson finds Michael Smith. Gets the ball out to Rainey. Rainey onto Barry John Mather. The movements come to a halt for Castleford. Mather waiting to be tackled. Eventually Andy Hay obliges. Hudson finds Healy. Healy kicks down the short side. Goes into touch. And Leeds will have head and feed on their 10-metre line. Vowles finds Chev Walker. He pushes away from the first tackle of Mather. Maguire onto Jamie Jones. Diskin to Bailey. Bailey driving it up direct, running style. Likened to Adrian Morley in his academy days. Got a long way to go to match up to the Great Britain man, but only his second appearance has impressed since coming on. Diskin, inside ball to Maguire. Maguire, the pass is just in front of him, can't take it. And so Castleford have the ball. Good run in here from Johnson. It's impressed throughout tonight, Andy Johnson. Tony Carroll's gone down, holding his shoulder. A desperately disappointing night so far for the Rhinos. Not only the scoreline, but the loss of Rob Burrow, what looks like a very serious injury. Carried off on a stretcher, holding his ankle. Well, Leeds, I think, have used up all their substitutes, so if Tony Carroll can't continue, they'll be down to 12 men. Tony Carroll holding his arm, looks to be in an awful lot of pain, goes back into the line. Rainey runs at Ben Walker. Hudson passes to Michael Smith. Smith bumps out the first tackle of Diskin, then the second one, still going. Diskin comes back for a third attempt and pulls the big Kiwi down. Ryan Bailey took a swing at Smith. Rainey's come in for a bit with Matt Adamson. Ryan Bailey pointing to his shoulder. That's what he says he went into Michael Smith with. Referee Steve Ganson saying it was a punch, and so Castleford will have a penalty in front of the post. If they kick this, it gives them a safety, and I would say a big enough margin to be certain of victory now. Leeds would need 2 converted scores and another try to win it, with time running out, barely 5 minutes on the clock. This could be the one to seal the victory for the Tigers, and a famous night for the men in white here at Headingley. Bartram now, 20 metres out, just to the left of the post as he looks at it, slots the kick over, and that cheer from the Tiger fans is not just for the penalty, it's for the win that almost certainly secures. Tony Carroll in excruciating pain from that shoulder injury. This is Wells, score of 2 tries for the Tigers. And Graham Steadman will be absolutely delighted with the effort of his team here tonight. They've done everything asked of them, shown real commitment. Every player in the team, everyone who's come on has done a job, lifted the game, adding an extra element to the Tigers' effort. Their captain, Danny Orr, has been at the heart of everything, as usual for the Tigers. This is Adrian Rainey. He's impressed since coming on. It's the last tackle now. And for the very few times in this game, Castleford inside their own half at the end of a set of 6. Their go forward has been tremendous tonight. They have really worked hard for each other. Leeds get a penalty. Ben Walker kicks downfield, up to the halfway line. Vowles finds Maguire. Maguire onto Bailey. Bailey bursts through. Still going Bailey. Reverse pass. Danny Maguire. He's on for a hat-trick, but he's well tackled there by Rainey. Tremendous pass by Bailey. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Bailey finds himself in the Leeds team next week, even with the Great Britain Stars back on duty. He's been tremendous since coming on. A real live wire, adding real fire to the Leeds pack. Amazing that an 18-year-old is asked to do that job. Chev Walker can't hold on to that pass. Ball goes into touch. Another man's down for Leeds. And a night of nightmares, disasters and absolute tale of woe for Leeds continues. And everything in reverse for Castleford Tigers. They will celebrate down the lane. A long time on the back of this one. Not one single Tigers fan is leaving this stadium. They're savouring every single moment of this, and well, they deserve it. Their team has played tremendously for them tonight. And whilst they've had unlucky circumstances throughout this season, games they've controlled well and performed admirably, this one it looks like they will get their win. Danny Maguire limping from the field, the two brightest stars of the Leeds Academy system, both leaving this game injured. Rob Borough in the first half, and now Danny Maguire. 2 tries to his name, 3 in his Leeds career, scored in his full debut over at Widnes earlier in the season. And Leeds will have to play the remainder of this game, which is barely a matter of minutes, with 12 men in a rapidly emptying Headingley. And so Leeds play a man light in the back. Castleford driving out from their own line. Rainey tackled by Walker initially, then Cummins. Hudson. Balls come out. AJ Vowles now has to go at scrum half with Maguire out. Maguire to Ben Walker. Ben Walker looking to cut through the line. Mitch Healy pulls him down with a throw. It is Vowles. Vowles is tackled. 15 out from the Tigers line, then driven back another metre. Penalty to Leeds. Leeds get on with the game. Adamson ties it up in centre field. Numbers to the left and to the right. Ben Walker comes back across. Still going Walker, looking for a gap. Still going Ben Walker. The run was there from Cummins. Couldn't get the arm free to get the offload away. Diskin. Diskin goes himself. Diskin will score. Leeds have certainly won the second half, but the damage was done in the first half. Probably about a minute remaining in the game. They need this conversion, another converted try, and they'd still be 2 points behind. And quite frankly, too much to do. And this, from this conversion, you will imagine this will be the slowest walk ever seen on a rugby field as Castleford look to get the game restarted. Conversion is added. Well, amazingly, Castleford running upfield anxious to get the restart done. Well, Diskin picks up down the short side, then finds Vowles. Vowles gets the ball out wide to Ben Walker. Ben Walker moving upfield, gets the ball back to Tony Carroll. Flick round the back, Carroll away. Rogers is stacing. Tony Carroll still going. Has Mark Calderwood outside him. Gets tackled with the ball. Jamie Jones to Ben Walker. Walker gets a kick through. Chases on by Chev Walker. John Wells picks up. Matt Diskin makes the tackle. Ryan Bailey in with the tackle. Rainey moving upfield. Mitch Healy kicks downfield, fielded well there by Kirk. Kirk comes into centre field looking for support. Dummies once, then drives it up. An awful lot of injury time here due to the delay for Rob Burrow. Ben Walker skipping upfield, gets the ball back to Diskin. Diskin now runs into centre field. Still going back Diskin, finds Tony Carroll. Tony Carroll slips on the wet floor. And Castleford have sealed a 32-24 win. Consecutive defeats here at Headingley for the Rhinos, but for Castleford, nothing but delight. An outstanding team effort from the Tigers with some outstanding rugby league football, and they have won an historic victory here tonight.